Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott. Just wanted to show off the Satanic War Master shirt. I really like this shirt. I like the snowfall from the logo that it has. So just wanted to show it. This is the 11th episode of Blind Buy Blasphemies. This is where I take a handful of stuff that I've blind bought over the years. A lot of it has been sitting here for years. That was kind of the impetus for this series. And give it a listen and give my first impressions of it and if I'm going to keep them or not. This time, the theme is all releases from Horror, Pain, Gore, Death Records. A lot of these came from a box, I think it was 30 CDs for $31 that they do periodically, usually around Halloween. So yeah, I've got a backlog of those, so I thought I'd just bust out 5 of them and go through them and see what's worth having. So let's get started. The first is Relic, Spiraling in Infinite Chaos. This came out in 2015. This band claims to have started in 1987. Now, I don't know. Perhaps that's true. I don't know. But it makes me think of Justin Horval's channel when he kind of makes fun of bands who say they've been around for 30 years and their first demo came out 10 years ago. Their first demo came out in 2002 and they say they've been around since 1987. I don't know. Whatever. Sounds a little suspect to me, but okay. This is I guess I would call it thrash. The vocals are definitely death metal vocals, but I would call it more stylistically more of a thrash album. Just looking at the back here. The only real person of note on here is Craig Smilowski, who was in Immolation in the early days. What to say about this one? I made notes so I would remember. Yeah, it's mostly mid-pace thrash, darker thrash, I guess. They sure do love pinch harmonics. I mean, we could do a little less of that. I guess my rating of this album is it's okay. They do tend to, on some of the songs, go on too long, and generally the longer the song, the more I'm kind of ready to move on. It gets a little bit boring. There's a really cool atmospheric outro on this that, I don't know, sounds like it came from a different album. It didn't really fit with the rest. I don't know. This definitely isn't bad. I mean, I've come across some that are just like, how did this ever get released? This isn't that, but yeah, nothing I'm going to keep, I don't think. I think this is going to end up finding another home. Let's see. What do we got next? Mountain Grave. Mountain Grave with Massive Structural Collapse. This came out also, or 2016 this came out. This is a project, more of a project than a band, it looks like. It looks like it's the work of one guy. I did not write down his name. But he has a bunch of different projects going. Yeah, it doesn't really say on here. I'm just looking at, remembering what I read from Metal Archives. I believe he's in Skeletal Remains now. So I was really intrigued by this at first. It's like a sci-fi concept album. Looked like it could be pretty interesting and a little off the beaten path. But what we have here basically is a melodic death metal album. There's some like choir backing vocals that are a little different, but basically this is pretty by the numbers, and nothing I'm going to come back to, which is too bad because when I opened it up and looked, I was like, oh, there's like a concept, but yeah, middle of the road for me. Next, we're going to stay in Indiana, and this band is from Fort Wayne. I believe they claim to still be active, but this is the last thing they put out. Holocaustum with I never remember the name of the albums. In the Fields They Bled, and this came out in 2015. It's a co-release with Dark Horizon Records. This I really enjoyed this one. I've kind of been down on just standard death metal lately. I feel like I've been burned out on it. But I don't know. This one just had it going, man. The vocals are really awesome and brutal. There's some really fun, chaotic guitar solos that are kind of like pushed back in the mix. I almost wish they were up farther so you could hear them better, but it does work in the atmosphere of the album to have them kind of back there, and you gotta kind of pay attention to them. Some really triumphant melodies, almost like a traditional metal influence sometimes, but not in a happy way. Just some good old school heavy metal melodies in there, amidst a really heavy death metal album. It's all war themed. And like I like it's war themed in that war is horrible and terrible things happen. Not that, oh my gosh, it's so glorious to go to war. So yeah, this is a really good one. Holocaust. They have a previous full length, so I'm definitely gonna be looking for that one. So yeah, that's a win. I'm keeping that one. Staying with war, we've got Entrenched with Preemptive Strike. This came out in 2011. And I believe they put out something since then. This is kind of a death influence thrash record, I would say. The band's from New Jersey. It's raw but clear production, really catchy right out of the gate. But I gotta say, it's not even a 40-minute album, and by the end I was like, all right, I'm ready for it to be over. So it's kind of one note. Yeah, I'm gonna have to consider this one. I'm not sure if I'm keeping it or not. I liked it right away, but by the end I was ready for something else. So I don't know. We'll see on that one. We got one more. This is another one I'm gonna have to consider. Holland Larm. Let's say. I'll have the link below, so you don't have to decipher what I'm babbling about. The name of the album is Hellish Noise, and just based on that picture alone, combined with the black and white creepiness of the front, you think just, okay, it's straight up black metal. But this is all over the place. Oh, sorry, this came out in 2011 also. They're from Philly. The first song I would describe as southern rock sounding crust punk, with some doom and sludge. I was like, what is going on? I mean, it wasn't bad. I did enjoy it. But then, you hear the first song of an album and you're like, okay, this is where we're going. Then the second song, Blood on Marble, it starts out with black metal riffing, and then we've got like death metal vocals mixed with hardcore vocals, which wasn't the first song at all. And then we kind of genre hop the rest of the album. It's 6 songs, but they're all pretty lengthy. It's a full length for sure. Not a 70-minute full length. I think it's like, 35, 40 minutes. But yeah, they're mostly hardcore vocals, but it's mixed with clean vocals. And then we got some death metal in there. The production is really oppressive and kind of depressive sludge, I would say. There's some gang vocals later. Like, it's all over the place. So I'm not even sure how to classify this, but I was intrigued. I wasn't saying I'm sold, but this is something I'm going to listen to again for sure, because I feel like there's a lot going on that it takes more than one like first impression to decide if it's something I want to keep or not. So Holland Larm, yes, with Hellish Noise. So that's my horror, pain, gore, death episode for Blind Buy Blasphemies. I'll leave all the links below if you want to check out anything yourself. And thanks for watching, guys. Later.